I work in a hospital as a nurse. I was on a row of nights, which I dread. I ended up having 5 patients, 2 of which were under care for cancer. There are 2 events in here for 2 separate nights. Number 1, the night started normally as I assessed and passed meds to the patients and did my charting and other night duties, stalking and other stuff. Just at around 11 p.m., one of my palliative patients started ringing, complaining that there was a kid running in the room laughing and playing when they should be in bed. I checked the room to make sure that there was no one in the room and reassured him that there were no children in the hospital area we were in. I made him comfortable and left the room. He rang again. I went back to the room to see what he rang for. Agitated, he said that he was just looking to rest comfortably and that people should keep their children under control and not let them jump on his bed playing and laughing. This time I got the chills, but again, I reassured him that there were no children since it wasn't the pediatric ward. I told him that I would bring him a sleeping pill to help him fall asleep, but that I would be in a few minutes. I started walking back towards the desk and medication room to grab the sleeping pill. A bell rang. I turned around and saw that the indicator above his door was flashing. Slightly annoyed, I walked back to his room. He was agitated in his bed, and I asked him what was wrong. He again complained about this kid. He said that he was just in here again. I leaned over the bed and calmly explained, "There are no children in this hospital. You need to get some rest." He replied loudly, "He's standing right behind you." I stood up instantly and slowly turned around. Creeped out, I turned to face the patient, and before I could speak, he says, "He ran into the closet," referring to the lockers where patients can store items. I slowly opened the locker and saw that his jacket was swinging, but no one was in there. I turned and said that there's no one in here, and I rushed into the med room to give him his sleeping pill. Now number 2, and this is a short one. I came out of one of my patients' room and was sanitizing my hands but facing the wall. As I'm rubbing my hands together, I noticed a shadow of something walk out of the room next door, and it walked into the room across from it as I turned to see. I went into the room where it walked into. I asked the patient, which was not mine, if anyone came into the room. She replied no, but with a shaky voice. I checked the room to make sure that there was no one in there. I left that room and went into the room where it came from. I looked around, but no one was in there. I checked the patient, again not assigned to me, and found that he had died. He was a palliative care patient. I walked out of the room immediately to inform the nurse who had the patient that he had passed away. She asked me to come with her to check the patient because she had been having creepy vibes every time she went in there. I agreed and we went. She did the assessment where you listen for a full minute. When she was done, we heard knocking on the wall. She said, "See, it's creepy." I didn't think anything of it until she said, "We're on the 4th floor, and the other side of that wall is the outside of the building." We quickly left the room. 4 of us came in there to shroud the body.